Man, I can't believe that they had doubts if we'd be on time or not. This ain't the Shade Tree Surgeon Show.
This isn't the amateur hour, boys. We're fucking pros.
Shade Tree's notoriously late for his own lives, but that's okay. Everybody will wait for Shade Tree. Unlike me, they'll just go find another stream. All right, man. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
All right. Well, if everybody joining in, I'm Mike. If you didn't know by now, my buddy Steve's on here. Firecracker is upstairs resting and recouping. She's been sick this week, stayed home from work the last few days. So she is not showing her face on camera tonight. So, hey, Salty, how are you? Road Rush is in the house. We got Ray's Moto Life, My Done Life, Gloria, XAN's here. So, jamming behind Rudy's Ferry.
Usual suspects.
Yeah, we're picking up. It's picking up. It's doubled since I went live. We're from 9 to 18. So,
thank God we were on time.
I'm telling you, we down to 4. There's Evil Rick. All right, so Steve, we just had Cycle Showcase a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Now, you've been there. It's not your first time there, but if someone were to ask you to describe that show, what's it all about? How would you describe it to them?
I would say that it's different than probably anything you've ever seen. I would start with Randy, the person that puts it on. He and I don't know a lot about him yet, but I'd like to learn more. He obviously is one of those guys that just everybody likes, and he must know everybody in that chopper bagger builder world, because he seems to attract the little guy all the way to the big name guys. But yeah, what a great concept. I mean, he brings in, I think this year he brought in 36 bikes, none of which have ever been seen before. And he puts a sheet over them so you can't see them until he individually, lifts the cover. And it's just cool. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody we were talking about, and I, this is how I described the show, and they said that's probably the best description I've ever heard anybody say this show. And this is not really a motorcycle show; it's an art show, and some of the art is in the shape of a motorcycle,
right? But
it's not. I mean, some of these are riders. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure some of them are riders, but a lot of these are fresh builds, and they can definitely be ridden, and some are probably a little wild to be ridden a lot, like the Horny Digger. I mean, I'm sure that dude can ride it, but it's probably not his daily rider back and forth to the shop, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag of everything. And, I think all of us are a little different as far as what we enjoy on motorcycles. I'm kind of more of that. I want to see the paint, and I think you're much more about, look at that carburetor, you're more into that kind of thing. And it's all there. I mean, no matter what you like about a motorcycle, it's there.
Well, and it's not just motorcycles. I mean, the venue this year I thought was perfect. There was motor history on the walls, in the place, everywhere you looked, the lighting accents and just different things. The decorations on the wall were all motorcycle themed if you paid attention and stuff. But the way the room broke up, there was a place upstairs where they had vendors that were doing tattoos and selling other kinds of art that were kind of motorcycle culture related, like the gal selling the painted canvas. And then you got a guy selling some part stuff, and you got a guy selling signs and paintings. And, there was one gal sold some peripheral clothing stuff, high reflective gear. But there was, those things were, I kind of liked the way they were a little more sectioned off from the motorcycles this year, not just kind of around the corners or the edge of the room. So I think the venue was great, but it's not the King's custom paint. That dude, I mean, that's art. It's art on the shape of a motorcycle tank, but it's art. That's really what that is about.
I went over there and visited with him, and I wanted to know if they were for sale. And of course, I'm sure if he did sell them, which he doesn't, but if he did, they'd be way out of my budget. But I mean, Mike, how do you even explain the paint work that he did? I don't even know how to put words to it. It was so off the charts.
Well, and you could tell it wasn't he just took a tank and painted it. I mean, like the materials for the gas cap, if you looked, there would be some of that same materials inlaid into the tank and stuff like that. It was just, really cool. You know, I don't know how I'm not that creative to come up with those ideas.
Me either.
But the dude's definitely an amazing artist, and I'm definitely following him on Instagram now.
I got lucky. I was standing there, and there was a obvious artist painter guy there talking to him, and they were talking about little intricate things in the paint work that he did that I didn't even notice. And he's like, I know how much time that takes. That's amazing. And then he just started grinning like, okay, you get it. You know what I'm going through when I'm doing these paint jobs. How many hours he puts in each tank, I have no idea, but it's got to be quite a few.
Yeah, and I mean, like some of the stuff that looked like it was like an engraving, it's not an engraving, it's paint. Yeah. But yeah, really cool show. Really enjoyed it. Salty said there's a video of the Horny Digger debut ride on Instant. It actually appeared to ride as well as it looked. I've got a bunch of footage. I think Firecracker was going to make a video out of it. When that happens, we'll make sure we share it out and let everybody know. But it was a very cool show. I posted a few pictures from there. Somebody asked me what was my favorite, and I couldn't pick a favorite. I know there just wasn't one bike that was like, oh yeah, that's, if you threw all the keys in a pile and said, pull out your favorite and take it home. Yeah. It'd be a hard choice.
I did a short on the bike that I picked as number one. And again, I'm more of that paint, kind of, oh, look how pretty. And I went with that one that had the Asian inspired bobber. And I think he said that on the tins, there's like 12 Japanese gods, and all of them were implemented into the paint work. Mm-hmm. But I could have picked 5 others just as easy. I mean, that's
it depends what you're picking them for. I mean, like a bike like that, I would be afraid to ride. Now, the panhead with the red and silver flames, that I would hop on and roll down the street on. It's just different bikes for different reasons or different pieces of art. It was a very cool show. For anybody that didn't know, my friends are in the chat here, Wagonators Wacky Crusade, they did a little video on it. If you haven't checked, it's just looked like a kind of a montage of photos and stuff from the show. But if you weren't there and you want to see what some of the bikes look like, they do have a little video out. You can go check that out and see some of the bikes there. There was everything from a guy, a musician it was his very first build, I'm
trying to remember. He was was he the bass player or the guitar player for Alice Cooper, wasn't he?
Yeah, guitar player, I believe.
Yeah.
And Zan, congratulations. XAN, he said he gained 13 subscribers since Cycle Showcase.
Sweet. And it was nice to, we met Zan. That's the other thing too. So 2 years in a row we've been to this event, and I'm starting to kind of recognize people. I'm starting to meet people, and I love that part of it. I like meeting the culture.
So meeting people is absolutely one of the best things about all kinds of events in this industry because you meet the best people.
Yes.
Speaking of subscribers, Steve, what are you up to?
I believe I'm up to 47 of
You
the
are.
smartest son of a bitches alive.
So we're gonna give Steve a shameless plug. Maybe we can get him over 50 tonight. If there's anybody in the chat that hasn't already done the subscribe thing, he's just having a little fun putting out little shorts and stuff like that. But
yeah, I hope to do a little more comedic stuff. I've got plans. So
Salty said that Chuck Garrick, and he's the bassist for Alice
Okay.
Cooper and Dio, which he should open with. In my opinion, he's a very humble artist.
Yeah, his bike was kind of unique. It certainly wasn't one of the more integral bikes there. But what I loved about that guy was he was full of energy. Couldn't wait to talk to you about it. I mean, the energy he had, he was so proud of his bike. And that, how cool, here's a guy that's entertained hundreds of thousands of people over the years, millions. And he's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, he just happy to show people his first build. It was inspired by, I think, his dad's motorcycle or something. He told a little story when he unveiled it.
That's correct.
But, it just, so it was a point of pride for him to make that build, to do that build. And he did it himself, and that's really cool. The Dozer's bike with the pan head was great. Garrett Customs brought some awesome looking machines. There's just tons of great motorcycles there. And of course, Salty's son and him had a motorcycle there. They unveiled his son's, first build. And that was pretty cool to get to watch that happen. So,
and here's this younger guy, so he's got a whole different perspective of what he thinks is cool. And, he had knobby tires on his chopper. I mean, it was just cool.
Springer front end on an M8.
Yep. I would have never have thought of, collaborating all that together. But yet he did it and he pulled it off. It looked cool.
Yeah, so it's a great bike show. I'm sure going to be Super Bowl weekend again next year. It was last year. So early February, if you're a football fan and you can't pass up the Super Bowl, just go on Saturday and get your ass home so you can watch Super Bowl on Sunday. But the show is always Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be back next year, guaranteed. It's a good time. No matter what, it's just meeting more people, getting to know more people in the industry. I got to talk to Chris a little bit from Cycle Source Magazine this year, which was cool. I've ran into him twice since the beginning of the year already, and imagine I'll hopefully run into him in a couple of weeks when we get to Daytona. Oh, look who just showed up in the chat here. It's on the Facebook side, but that would be Busted Knuckles Motorcycles.
Busted. So, yeah, I didn't get a chance to visit with Chris. He was, of course, everybody wants to talk to him, but I did get a chance to visit with Heather, his other half, and what a nice gal.
Hang on a second.
Are you being summoned?
Huh? Oh, okay. Firecracker come to listen, but she don't want to get on camera.
Oh, okay.
But she can't really hear with me having headphones on. You can peek around the corner and say hi. He said, absolutely not. Everybody's waiting for that. Everybody tell Firecracker hi, even though she won't get on camera.
Yeah.
Tell her you miss her.
Now, Firecracker, if I understood correctly, especially Saturday night, she enjoyed a couple libations. Is that right?
She might have had a refreshment or two on Saturday evening. She might not have been alone.
Yeah.
But we had a good time. So, we're going to be going to Daytona. So I imagine we'll see Cycle Source Magazine down there in just a couple of weeks. A bunch of other people will be down there. Steve, you're not going this time.
I'm not. Daytona just has never done anything for me because I want to ride. I want, I like the rallies where you get both, the best of both worlds. But I got to tell you, Daytona. I would love to go to the Speedway, and I'd love to, watch a King of the Baggers race.
Well, that was a big deal for me. Was going knowing we'd get to see that. We were going to buy tickets. I think that's going to happen for us to get to go see it. I don't know if we're going to buy tickets or if we're going to get some seats given to us or what, but I was told we would get to see it. So I'm excited about that. I'm a big King of the Baggers fan. I got a video ready to come out here in the next week before we get to Daytona talking about King of the Baggers and what's going on this season. For those that are race fans, if you're not following that, you absolutely should be following King of the Baggers. Some really cool stuff. Did you see the launch video they put out just this last week, Steve, for King of the Baggers race team?
I don't think so.
Oh man, you're freaking missing it. It starts out with James Rispoli riding through the snow on a converted CVO road glide to a snowmobile.
No way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You need to go check Harley Davidson's YouTube page out. Yeah, there's their promo for the new race bikes and stuff, and they talk about the season. But I mean, it's a big deal. They've expanded this year to 18 races. That's 9 weekends. This thing started out being like 3 or 5 races.
Right.
Now we're 9, and one of them this year is going to be at Moto America's part of MotoGP's racing weekend. So it'll be, aired out to an international audience and stuff. It's going to be a huge deal.
Well, and I know I've got a friend here in Kansas City that's been talking about going to one. And then I visited with you the other day, about it looks like we've got a couple that are about 8 hours away, Ohio and outside of Milwaukee, right?
Yep, Elkhart. Hey, Michael Ferrar's in the chat. Yeah, Salty said there might have been a case of the brown bottle flu on Sunday morning.
I saw that. That's funny.
Yeah, Michael's in there. Chat. Zan said, XAN said, I survived. So Road Rush is a big fan. Yeah, they called it the snow glide in this thing. You got to check it out, man. It is pretty awesome. Mustin said, just stopping to say hi. I got to work in a few hours. I'll have to catch the replay.
Cool.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, I just rode the CVO Road Glide ST out there in Vegas, and that motorcycle has a lot of its DNA from the King of the Baggers racetrack bikes. And, from the intake to the throttle mapping to the suspension setup, it's not exactly the same suspension, obviously, but just the way they want the bike to handle what they've learned, all these things. It is, really cool. I was really upset, 3-4 years ago before King of the Baggers was announced, when they dropped out of flat track racing and drag racing for the factory teams. Right. I mean, people may still be running Harleys, but there's no factory race team for flat track or for drag racing. And so I was really upset about it. I mean, I really commented, I think that they need to stay in these sports. They need to support them. But they need to also, it helps them develop products and learn about the weaknesses. When you shell a transmission, you find out real quick what gave first, what the problem is, where it's blowing up at. So
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, they got to keep their foot in the
and they're doing that. And I think King of the Baggers has helped them make a performance bagger from the factory. It was really cool. So I don't know. I mean, the flat track racing thing is really hard because basically they allowed Indian to develop a dedicated motorcycle just for flat track racing that they don't sell as a production model. And that's really hard to compete against for everybody else. To develop a one-off, we're only going to make this motorcycle only for racing. And Indian's domination of flat track has kind of killed the excitement in the crowd because there's not that much competition, so
right.
I don't know. I think there's definitely something's got to change for flat tracking to survive. I hope it does, but
yeah, I've never been to an event, but anytime I hear anybody talking about it or see it on internet, I mean, TV, whatever, it sounds like a blast.
Yeah. So Flat Out Friday in Milwaukee is Friday night before the Mama Tried show, right, Salty? And so I know they're doing racing there, but I didn't know there was going to be a bagger there. I don't know anything about the track or the size. I haven't got to go to Mama Tried yet. It was something we thought about this year, but just between Vegas and other things, there's just not enough time. We're going to do homecoming. So certain things had to give on the list. Can't do it all.
Now, Mama Tried, they have a race like the day before the show where it's on a flat surface inside, right? And they like put jelly or something down on the.
I don't know anything about it other than I know they have a race on Friday night called Flat Out Friday.
Yeah, and everybody dresses up, and it's kind of crazy.
Well, sounds like you know more about it than I do, Steve.
Well, I watched a video one time. God, I have no life. And I believe they put something like soda. They put some kind of sugary pop, jelly, something down on the floor so that when these guys are going around the corners, they don't just slide out from under them. And if that's what he might comment if that's what he's talking about.
They use Dr. Pepper on the track, Greg McBee said.
Yeah.
And yeah, he said it's a flat track and it's indoors. So a bagger may be a little small for a bagger.
Yeah. Most of the bikes that I saw them racing were little, like 100cc type stuff.
So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely something to maybe put on the agenda for next year. I'd like to get up there and see.
Yes.
I'm knocking shit off on the floor, but I don't think I need a mouse right now. So it still works. We'll be okay.
Anybody in the chats, have you ever been to Mama Tried? I'd be interested to see if anybody's been there.
Been to Flat Out Friday.
Yeah.
I know some of the bikes from Cycle Showcase, I think, go on to Mama Tried, or at least in the past, some of them have. I know Bare Knuckle Performance was building a bike for Mama Tried this year. I haven't seen it, but I heard that. And I think JP Cycles was I think they're doing a custom build for Daytona or something that they haven't revealed yet. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm becoming more aware of the bike show scene the more I get into it. But it feels like it's getting more popular again. Like there's going to be more of them, more promotion of them. Greg says I've been a few times. I only live 40 minutes away.
Oh, cool. Hey, Greg. I mean, 1 to 10. How much fun is it? If you don't mind responding.
Can't wait to see all the bikes for the High Seas Rally. Yeah, they build bikes for the High Seas Rally now. I've never even left Central Florida my whole life. That's changing this year with my Road Glide. Well, that's what it's for. Get out and ride.
Hell yeah.
That's great to hear. It should inspire you. I traveled as a kid. We'd go out of state on vacation, my parents. So it was never a thing to me to think about leaving the state and seeing some other part of the country. I have not been all the way to the West Coast. Maybe I'll swallow my pride and the fact that I hate California's politics and gun laws and go there anyway. But we've got a friend that lives out there now, so I've got a reason to go. I actually know somebody there, and we used to ride with him when he lived here in Missouri, so we may go check him out and do a ride there before he retires and moves back or gets out of California. But besides the West Coast, the only place I haven't been is like upper Northeast, United States, like Connecticut, Maine, that kind of thing. Salty said, I missed the cutoff for Mama Tried, was holding out for Cycle Showcase. Patrick from Lead Sled is unveiling his High Seas Rally build at Mama Tried.
And let's keep in mind that Randy from Cycle Showcase, apparently there's some other shows in the works that he can't tell us about yet. So it'll be interesting to see what that news.
Well, and it used to be named Cycle Showcase STL on Instagram, and he renamed it to just Cycle Showcase because he didn't want to be pigeonholed into just STL because he did the show at the lake.
Yep.
He's got some other stuff in the works. I think looking at doing some more cycle showcase shows in other areas. So that'd be cool to see this thing open up for him and get to do some in different parts of the country, kind of like Born Free happens in Texas now, and California. Well, cycle showcase could happen in St. Louis and one or two or three other cities or something.
Yeah.
The races are a lot of fun, especially the kids, and run what you brung. Bikes made out of anything like a outhouse. The main races are good, small track.
I'm sure, guys, if you get on YouTube, put something in there, you could probably find some video. That's how I did it.
It's amazing what all's on YouTube.
A couple knuckleheads are on there, I know.
All the time. So I guess since we're talking about Daytona or brought it up, we won't be doing a live in 2 weeks because we might do a live in 2 weeks, but it won't be this format because I have no idea where we'll be and what we'll be doing. We have a very loose agenda. Doc Harley the other night mentioned something about hoping to see me there. So, we'll probably try and meet up with some people, maybe catch up with Pro Monkey. I got where I do know that we're going to go to King of the Baggers. So I expect we'll spend the last Saturday at the racetrack. I know we're going to do the Biker Bells ride. I think that's on Wednesday morning. That's Harley Davidson and Biker Bells put on a ride that supports women and young women and lady riders and stuff and charities related to them. So we're going to do that. We thought that'd be a good charity thing to do. Firecracker can be a part of that. And, it's men are welcome too, but that's kind of up her alley. So we thought we'd go support that. And then I think we have a little event we're going to do at the track on Tuesday with Harley Davidson.
That just sounds awesome. I'm so excited for the two of you guys to
I have no idea what I'm riding. None.
Really? Are they going to keep it in the dark until you get there?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't have any idea.
That's kind of cool, man.
I know what she's riding, but she's going to ride a Lowrider ST.
Ooh.
So, that's very similar to what she's got, except it's mid controls and a fairing. So, they're going to put her on there. But looks like Firecracker may have got her headphones on or something. She's at least reading the chats. We didn't do anything exciting on food this year, she told Ray.
Yeah, no sushi.
No, we did some other exciting stuff that we should probably not talk about on YouTube. K River in June. We are hoping to do K River in June this year. It is tentatively on our schedule if we can keep the vacation days open, don't have to use them for something unexpected. I'm actually off on Wednesday because it's a federal holiday now. So I think I'm going to take Thursday and Friday as vacation days, and we might head south on Tuesday. Maybe we'll go see Chase and Sarah in Eureka Springs, right on down to, Talamina, to do the Talamina Trail, show up at Adams Campground for a few days, and then ride back.
Yep.
Firecracker said, let's not get to the other exciting stuff. So now everybody can tell your Firecracker hello. She's in the chat. I see Salty Founder and Ray. So she's participating. She just doesn't want to be on camera. But I'm sure she misses hanging out with everybody, so she had to get on the chat.
Sounds like there might have been some wrestling going on in St. Louis last weekend.
XAN said there was excitement. Pebbles and Cornbread are in the house from Texas. Justin Dockery has a new bike fever dwindled down a bit since returning home. Not really. It really hasn't dwindled down other than the fact that when I look at my bank account, we're not quite there yet. Let's just say that if for those of you that have seen my bike and know what I'm riding, that I have a custom painted fairing on the front of the bike. That is not the OEM fairing. The OEM fairing has been in storage this whole time. That is an aftermarket fairing that I had painted and then put on there. And that fairing will stay with me whether the bike stays or goes. So I may have dug the OEM fairing out, and I may be preparing to put it back on the Street Glide and take photos of it. But I'm not going to run out and buy a bike without this one being sold. And the fact is, I'll get more money out of selling it to an individual than I will trading it in. So for me to get a new bike, I've got to not give into the fever and do things the smart way for me. And that means trying to sell it and then taking that money and putting it toward a new bike. What's going on at K River in June? Stubborn American Rally. So for anybody that didn't know, Adam has moved the Stubborn American Rally from the end of September, 1st of October to June. So yeah, there was an announcement about that. It's the week of like June 22nd or something like that. That's that weekend. You can, I'm sure, find all the information on his website for the K River and stuff. Chase says, booked our overnight for International Female Ride Day in Fort Smith, ready to go get the season rolling. Hey, Chase, maybe shoot me a private message. Let me know where you booked. We have not booked an overnight place to stay yet. Oh, looky here. So we got a guest, Steve. She couldn't stay away. She had to get on camera. Say hi to everybody. She missed you guys.
Hi, Firecracker.
Hello.
Ray wanted to know if the meetup on Friday night was better than last year, Firecracker.
The meetup, the biker meetup.
Yeah, Cycle Showcase, the meet and greet.
I mean, unless you just want to go up and ask them, you don't really know who the builders are. So I really feel that it's more of a thing for the builders than anything. And they kind of hang to themselves. So,
well, not all of them. Now, Salty's a builder, and he.
well, yeah, but we were expecting to meet him. But I mean, the rest of a bunch of them hung out outside and stuff. Yeah. And they don't go around and talk to you. They don't introduce it, or anything. So
I think it'd be better if they had like, name tags or something, so you kind of knew who was builders and who weren't.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to talk to them about their build. I feel like it's hard, and maybe that's intentional so they don't get overran with people, but it feels like it's hard to know who's a builder and what they built unless you're just willing to walk up. I mean, the guy that built the Ken Block bike, I just asked him, hey man, did you build a bike? Who are you? What you build? But I'm a little more forward than some people, so.
Well, okay. So here would be my thing on this. Second year going, I feel like there's this little fraternal group of builders and they all know each other, it appears. And that's how Randy's able to go and find these guys. And I think if you know who they are, I think they're approachable. It's just a matter of getting to know who they are. So as as we continue to go to Cycle Showcase, hopefully we'll start to kind of work our way into that group and get to know them better. But I don't think it's like they don't want us to visit with them. It's just that we just don't know who to visit with.
Right. I think maybe if they made a little table thing up that, like this is their table and this is their table, you'd know who to go find them. And I'm not saying they got to be at this table, but if they had a plaque or something on their table that you kind of knew they were a builder, maybe a picture of the bike that they built last year, they built in the past, or their company name, Garrett Customs or, Blake Badger, whatever.
Oh, so let's address one thing. So the venue that we went to was really cool, but so were the prices on the drinks. Would you guys rather go somewhere that's maybe more of like a biker type place where you can get a $4 drink versus a $12 drink?
Well, I think a double was $20, wasn't it?
I got both of you guys a double, and it was like 40 something bucks.
Yeah, because it was $10 for each of our drinks. Yeah. And and you weren't the only one that guys. I was feeling good by the time we left there, and then went back to the room and drank more. So, but I mean, as long as I have alcohol, I'm fine. So it was a good time. We had good company with the people that we hung out with and talked to, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, we hung out with Salty. We hung out with Wagonators. We hung out with Great American Dive Bar. We hung out with Zan. So it was a good atmosphere. I actually liked the venue better, other than probably the alcohol prices were a little steep.
Yep.
Yeah, Zan's got an idea. Have a table there with maybe the picture of their build, or at least something indicates that they're a builder. I
Yeah,
agree completely.
then people, and I get they may be humble or they don't want attention, but I mean, if we're going to have a Meet the Builders event, let's try and make that event where people who come can actually meet the builders without having to walk around like a dumbass and say, "Hey, did you build a bike?"
Yeah.
I don't mind being a dumbass and saying that, but some people are going to be maybe a little like, the guy doesn't have a sign. I don't want to just go up and talk to him or interrupt. He's hanging out with his wife or his girlfriend or whatever,
Well, it seemed like most
Maybe
of these
they need a sign that's got like two sides. Go the fuck away, and yeah, I'm open for business.
Well, so most of these builders, I think these bikes were built for a customer, so it would be another way for them to advertise their own business. That hey,
Some are. I think a lot of these are kind of their own builds, like the guitar guy and some of that. But they do. But some of these guys, like Garrett, do have a business where they will build a bike for somebody. So
right. The guy that I think, I don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend, whatever, but I think it's second year she's been there. But the gal that's on the front page of this live that you posted.
That's Dozer's bike, and she was with him. I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend or what, but
but I'm pretty sure that's the second year because she's kind of hard to miss. But meeting people like that it's just cool.
Yeah, and the more we go, the more we'll meet them. But I think it would be more inviting to people to show up on Friday night if they knew they could come. And like you came and you say, "Oh yeah, I met 10 guys last night that all built bikes." One guy was telling me how he built this. One guy said, "I can't tell you yet. You have to see it tomorrow," or whatever. But this is what these are just passions of art for me. Or oh yeah, I have a custom shop where I build stuff. Garrett Customs, I knew he did stuff for people. We've seen his work there in the past, and I actually had a buddy that had reached out to him before the show about doing some fab work to make a custom crash bar for his Honda because he'd seen a design on one of his other bikes that he liked, and he loaded his shit up in the truck and drove it 3 hours to Garrett Customs and dropped it off for Garrett to make a custom crash bar for it because his wife's going to start riding his VTX 1300, and so he wanted a crash bar for her. And he didn't like any of the ones he could buy. He wanted something cooler than that, and he said, "I'd rather drive to Garrett's shop and pay him $100 more than I get some generic crappy looking crash bar that everybody else has got."
Yeah, I mean, how cool would that be? You're in some small town and you're like, "Hey, this exhaust was built by one of the best builders in the world."
Right.
Steve, just asking you, was your motel bill more than what it was supposed to be?
They actually come back and credited mine and dropped the price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, sorry. I got home and my initial charge did not represent the discount.
Okay.
And then a couple of days later, it came through at the right amount.
Okay. Well, you didn't tell me, but I've been sick.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got sick, and you got sick, and we've been a house full of sickness.
I was sick the day we come back. I barely got to watch Super Bowl.
You had what Salty likes to call the brown bottle flu.
I had worse than that. I'm not so sure. I didn't have alcohol poisoning. And
I heard you were a little sick on the way home.
Wow. Yeah. Horrible.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had 1,000 of those days. I'm kind of glad I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, I think Salty said Saturday would be a better day for the Meet the Builders and a pre-party on Friday. In my opinion, it's like on Friday, maybe have a party or something, but don't call it Meet the Builders. But on Saturday, have the Meet the Builders party like that, where people could go and see the guys that they saw unveil their bikes, and they would know who they are and they know what their bike was. And they'd have something to talk to them about. That's
a thought. And then none of us went to the bowling alley like we did the year before, the after party. I wonder if anybody went to that in the side chat, and if they did, was it fun? I think we both agree that it wasn't conducive.
Well, it's kind of a little setting.
Yeah. Right, and you can't go up and talk to people and ask them about their bike when they're in the middle of bowling.
It was tight.
And
It was
there's only how
loud.
many bowling lanes there. But it wasn't just that, but there wasn't enough seating. Like, but when we were there last year, I stood pretty much the whole time we were there, and that just made me just want to go back to the motel and, you know.
Yeah, I did a little digging. That area that we go to is real trendy and cool, you know, kind of a hip play area, which is probably why Randy picks it, which, and I get that and I understand. But I think maybe most of us would prefer more of a biker bar setting. So,
Yeah, I don't even know what we have for biker bars in St. Louis anymore. I've been out of the scene up there for quite a while. I know there's a big place on Wednesday nights to have a bike event called Johnny's Hideout, but I don't know how far out of town and how far from the venue it is. Of
Well,
course, Shady Jack's would be the bar that would have been closest to where the
right.
event was, and they've closed.
I can tell you when you're in St. Louis, you got to be careful anyways. I mean, when we're
True.
going down to the road, stopping at gas stations, and my watch pops up, be safe and pay attention to your surroundings. Always observe. And you know you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What about the signs on the doors?
Yeah.
No ski masks or hoodies allowed. Like, oh shit! Lock the doors, kids.
Yeah, we've me and Firecracker are pretty good about. I mean, I've been around St. Louis enough. I'll find a place to go hang out and drink or party. We went to the bar at the top of the hotel for a while. You know,
yeah, that was cool.
It was a good time. I mean, we had a good time. I don't want anybody to think that because we have had a couple of criticisms on the pre-party event or anything that it wasn't cool or wasn't a good time. It was. It's just more some things that we think could have made it more conductive for people getting to meet the bikers, for building those relationships and meeting the builders and, you know, being able to talk to them. So.
Well, we wouldn't know if we didn't have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
But we make our own fun no matter where we go.
True. Yeah. I'm not even complaining. Those are a couple simple suggestions. I mean, he's
right. I just don't want anybody to think, oh, they didn't have a good time or, oh, this was bad. And the only thing that was really bad was, you know, and I can't complain too much about the alcohol prices because Friday night, Steve bought our drinks and somebody else bought our drinks. And I think we only paid for our very first drink. So I come out like a champ on Friday night. But I think on Saturday night, I got a little carried away. But we had some friends come up that had never been there, and I wanted to make sure they had a good time. And so I was very playing the host.
No matter what, just going to the show is well worth it. Even if you want to just drive for the day and go. But I think it's neat how they unveil the bikes as far as, you know, they pull one here and there. And he actually went through it, I feel, quicker this year. But I almost would rather wait till he unveils them and then go, because if you want to take pictures or anything, you've just got a crowd around him, you know, when he's unveiling them. But it is a very neat thing, and it kind of gives the builders recognition and lets them kind of tell about it. So,
hey, Mike, you mentioned that this venue was really cool, and you're absolutely right. It is cool. But could you see this with the success of the show? Could you see them have to go to a bigger venue someday, you know, sometime soon?
Or making it more selective.
It's
I don't know.
Tight in there.
Right. I don't know that you want to get bigger is the question. Do you want to get bigger? Yeah. How many bikes do you want to have? Or you just have to get more selective, and some people may get invited this year and some people may get invited every other year or something else.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to know what Randy's answer to that would be. You know, he might be like, guys, I got it just the way I want it.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is how big do you want it to get? How much, you know, how many bikes can there be, and you really get to look at all the bikes. The other thing is you make it too big, people won't stop and take the time to notice the little details because they're trying to see it all.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I really didn't pay that much attention to the bikes that are already in the museum. But I'm sure if I walked around and checked all those out, I mean, that would have been a hell of a show in itself.
Yep.
crazy.
I wonder how much stuff might have got put up even that might have been out in that open area to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure quite a bit.
And it was nice that they had a kind of a little bar there. You could get a Bloody Mary, you could get a drink. It wasn't terrible. You know, the price at the bike show was better than the price Friday night.
But they needed to have someone teach them how to mix drinks, because their mixed drinks that they only had 3 options for mixed drink besides like Bloody Mary, and they were the most god awful tasting drinks I've ever had in my life.
That one tasted like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It wasn't a good combination, whatever they were trying to make.
There was no mini bikes there this year that I saw. Did you see mini bikes this year?
I didn't. And I was kind of keeping an eye out for that, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that bar did. I mean, I got a Beam and Coke. They didn't have. Well, I didn't get a Beam. I got bourbon and Coke. They didn't have Jim Beam, but they had some other flavor. But I could at least get something I could drink that wasn't some crazy concoction. And Salty said the work that Randy puts into this is unbelievable. If you want to see what goes into it, show up early Friday when he sets the bikes up, stands back, and looks, then adjusts them. Yeah, I mean, I am by no means I want anybody to think that, you know, we're down in anything that goes on there.
No.
I'm sure it's a ton of work, and I'm thankful he does it for everybody. And it was like $10 to get in. I mean, it's not like, you know, this is some big money grab and it's expensive or anything else. No, nobody's got to drink if they won't want to. I mean, you know, so I don't get too excited about the alcohol. I could always drink water if I didn't like the prices.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, about 3 years ago, I quit drinking. I drank a soda and it was fine. And
they didn't give you free refills, though, did they?
They did not give me free. It was $4 a cup.
Yeah. It's okay. That's better than $20 a cup.
Yeah.
They didn't want you to get wild on that sugar from that soda.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I got a little wild, didn't I, Firecracker? Did a little striptease.
I like the setup for the Japan one-man band, you know, down there and having the bikes up on the stage and stuff. That was very cool.
Yeah, and it was not as loud. We were able to converse easily, which was really nice.
Yeah, I like the venue Friday night better than last year as far as the venue itself. The only thing was the drinks were a little
we liked the
price
venue.
A little trendy.
We liked the venue last year, Friday night.
You liked it better than everybody else. Everybody else was yelling over the band trying to talk.
Yeah, the venue though was cool. Had they not been so loud,
the spray painting and the way they had the guy there spray painting the cycle showcase.
Cool. That was cool. Yes. What I meant was like
you complain about the noise level of anywhere you go with a band.
Only when they're so loud I can't talk over them.
The only reason that one wasn't is because it was one guy, so he couldn't play all those instruments.
He was perfect.
Yeah, he was cool. He was playing cool stuff. I dug him. Randy seems to know a lot about the music industry. I think somebody told me that he's been involved with music himself for years, doing sound or something, and for different bands. And so he obviously has a lot of fingers that reach out to a lot of different genres. You know, the motorcycle world, the music world.
Yeah. And so, Salty mentioned it's a no cost for the builders. He said the gift box was amazing. So
he's definitely not. If he's making any money, it's like change.
Yeah,
he's doing it for the love of it.
Yeah, he's doing it for. Any money he's making is probably helped cover the cost of the materials and the promotion and all those things. We know from doing charities, even when you do something for a charity, there's still overhead and costs for marketing and getting the word out and things like that. And he has some sponsors to help Schmidt Law Firm, for one, who's
Right.
also helps me with things, is very much involved in it. And we're very appreciative that Schmidt Law Firm does the things they do. Ben was there again this year. She had one of his Nortons on display. They displayed a BMW that a friend had restored for him and stuff. So, I know there's a bunch of other sponsors. That's just the one that I personally know.
Yeah. But we got to have Ben on here one of these days.
I've offered to have Ben on here, but maybe we can talk him into it. Maybe after Daytona, pick his ear and see if we can get him on one night. Give us all some advice about, not just about insurance and things for motorcyclists, but also tell us about his collection, his history with motorcycles. He's a racer. I think that'd be really cool just to have him as a guest.
I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now, I had somebody comment on one of my videos about, are we going to Daytona? I think everybody in here knows we're going to Daytona, but if anybody doesn't, we're going to Daytona.
Woo!
So that means we won't be back in 2 weeks because we'll be in Daytona.
Now I got to get you guys out to Arizona and do Arizona Bike Week with me.
Pebbles and Cornbread earlier asked if you talked about the
Freedom Rally.
Yeah, did you talk about it?
I have not, but we will definitely be at the Mid-America Freedom Rally. You can find it on the web at midamericanfreedomrally.com with an N on the word American, but that is not actually the event's name. It's Mid-America Freedom Rally, but the domain was already taken by somebody else and we couldn't get it. So that's what the person who bought the domain came up with. So you can find it on the web. Like I said, Mid-American Freedom Rally. Find it on Facebook. And we'll be at that event.
Facebook, the new page is MAFR-FORR, remember?
Yeah. Well, they can find the old page if they search for Mid-American Freedom Rally, and then they'll find the new page. I'm cross-posting for now. But that event, we do have some bands. You want to talk about what we got figured out for the bands? Band coordinator. Give us a band coordinator update.
We haven't even told our committee.
Well, that's because we like everybody on the channel better.
So we have for bands, Friday night we have a band Soul Root, which is for the Harley dealer out of Columbia. Is it Blacktop?
Yeah, it used to be Mid-American.
Yeah. So Soul Root is our Friday night band, which is really good. And then Saturday, we're still looking for a band to play from like 6 to 9.
An opener.
And then we got an Ozzy Osbourne tribute band called let me say this, Madman's Diary, I think is the name of it. And then we thought we had a band for Sunday, but that didn't end up working out. So I'm still looking for a band for Sunday too.
That's not what I was trying to get to. Somebody sent me a message I thought might be related to something we were talking about. And go away. Turn my phone down. Y'all don't want to hear my reels.
Yes, we do.
That one got reshared a few times. It was me riding the Burst Blue Street Glide. Can't imagine why. All right. I think Chase sent me a message. Fort Smith, all the hotels within 20 blocks are booked up. Bill and Ray are at this place. I got us an Airbnb about a block north. So
we haven't booked any of our motels for any.
I know. I told Chase to let me know where they were staying because they booked something. So I don't know what we're
there is a bike show at the rally. It's just one where anybody there can put their bikes in. It's not like the cycle showcase.
Yeah, Salty. Yeah, it's an open to the public. Bring anything. But there'll be some pretty nice bikes there. I mean, there's been some pretty good show bikes.
And it's judged by the crowd. Like anybody can vote on the bikes.
And they're classes.
Yeah.
So you'll have like antique, You'll have ladies bike, and you'll have sport, and you'll have tour, and you'll have custom. So
And the ladies ride, I got first on it last year.
yeah, you didn't have much competition.
That's all right.
But that doesn't mean that's not taken away from your bike. That just means, they're going to have to.
There was 3 bikes, and I got first place. So
I know, but there could have been 20 bikes, and you'd probably still got first place.
I don't know. Patty's got a pretty nice Indian.
No, yeah.
She didn't put it in that time though.
What was the the Indian that I always have the conversation with you about? The guy says it's his rider when he doesn't ride it.
Yeah.
I saw him at Sedalia at the bike show. Did you see him there?
Yes, I seen it.
Yeah. So he hasn't come to the Freedom Rally anymore. Maybe he got tired of me taking pictures of his odometer. He says he doesn't trailer it, but he doesn't get many miles. Let's put it that way.
Real quick on Fort Smith. So on our way to K River, we stopped in Fort Smith, and one of the guys I rode with has been to that rally there in Fort Smith. What is it? Iron something rally, Steel Horse, Steel Pony, so whatever it's called. Yeah. Anyway, if you guys can get a room at the Wyndham downtown, Wyndham Fort Smith, it's only half a block away from where all the bars are and stuff. It'll be a little pricey because it's a pretty nice hotel, but it's
Is it the Wyndham City Center Hotel?
Yes. It's
because apparently
perfectly located.
Yeah, apparently our friends got a room there.
Yeah, we got it. That's where we stayed. It was really nice.
Who got a room there?
Bill and Ray.
Oh.
I just outed them out on Facebook.
I haven't. Yeah, we haven't booked anything yet. I'm putting him in charge of that this year.
Yeah, it might be one of those things like
we're gonna be sleeping on the fucking ground next motorcycle. You put me in charge.
No, I paid for most of them last year. You get to pay for them this year.
That's why we're gonna be sleeping on the ground next to the motorcycle if I'm paying.
Then knock you out.
I hear that a lot.
I know you do. One of these days, it's gonna happen.
Your loving husband goes, reaches out so far to comfort you and take care of you.
We need that for May 4th, right?
That Saturday.
Okay.
Steve says sound like I think he meant camping weekend.
They still have a room there. Wyndham Springfield City Center.
Yep.
Is that the right one?
That's it.
Sure. And yes, it's May 4th.
Yeah, you literally walk 100 feet and you're at like one of their most popular bars, and all the bars are just kind of right along there. So I think there's Roosters.
Hey, honey, I think we get an AARP discount.
You old bastard.
Steve Russell says, sounds like a campaign weekend. I mean, if that's supposed
down
to be
below, he corrected camping.
Okay. I don't run an odometer of any kind, Salty says. Well, we'll get all the camping we want at Freedom Rally. That campers and tents and
K River too.
Yeah, we'll be tent camping there because that's probably all the option there is this late.
Probably. Yeah. In fact, I watched a video of his the other day, and he said, I think about all they have left is tent camping.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be there, right, Steve?
Very doubtful.
Not unless Bagger Bader takes off and he hits 100 subscribers. Can we get a commitment out of Steve? If he hits what level? What level do you have to hit before you'll show up at K River?
I think the big 100 would be a hell of a. That'd be about 99 more than I expected.
We got 50. Hey, we only got 52 to go, honey. Can you create 52 Gmail accounts real quick?
Hey, you computer bastards can't cheat out there.
All right. Everybody that's not subscribed, just go subscribe. I'm going to throw a link in there again. We've got to get him to 100 before June, so he'll show up at K River.
My road glide will have its paint job done by then.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to.
You mean you're not going to bring the Vespa?
Not going to bring the Vespa. It's I think it needs a new rear tire. I put like 10 miles on it the other day.
Salty wants to know if anybody's been to the Hand Built show in Austin, Texas. I have not.
No.
And then Chase says he's been waiting on that Bader content.
Oh, you're going to get some Bader, all right.
He's going to get some masturbator content.
That's right.
So while we're on the subject of things we're doing, anybody in the chat been to Daytona and think there's something that we must do while we're there?
Yes. You got to ride on the beach. You can actually take your motorcycle out on the beach. Got to ride it.
Yeah, somebody said there's like a loop you can ride and you get to take the bike out on the beach.
Yeah, there's I think it might cost a couple bucks, and then there's you have to go to a little officer and a little.
Is it packed down?
Yes.
Or is it real loose?
Yeah, as long as you. Yeah,
I'm not riding my own bike.
Right.
I'd rather be able to, if I ever needed to get another bike like this, I would hate to ruin the chances of doing that. So
yeah, it's now you can get down there and get in trouble, but yeah, there's it's like a road almost. From what I've been told, I've never done it.
I'm trying to book a motel so I don't have to sleep on the concrete next to the motorcycle while my wife runs off with some other biker because I didn't get a motel for the night at Fort Smith.
Whatever. I told you we could ride back to Arkansas to Eureka.
Last year, Thrashing Supply, which has a YouTube channel, they did a guided ride with Harley Davidson, and they went up along the coast on Highway 1. Thrashing Supply.
Oh,
and
well,
that was pretty cool.
I was thinking that the female ride that we're going to do, what is the female ride again, Mike, that we're doing?
Biker Bells.
I thought you said that it does a tour of Daytona and rides.
It takes a ride through somewhere. I don't know the route. Her Two Wheels, I know, is going to be on that as well. She posted that she was doing it. So,
yeah, I think they went up to St. Augustine, stopped at a seafood place.
That is perfect, Salty. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm sharing Bader's link with all the women that keep messaging me as a response on Insta. They blowing mine up the last couple months. You ask April. Every hour I'm getting some hello. Yeah. So we're just gonna put an auto response that says, if you really want to talk to me, follow this link, and I'm gonna send them the subscribe link for Bagger Bader's channel.
When I first got on there, Instagram, and I still don't know shit about it because I'm not on there very often, but I started getting all these beautiful women, right? And I'm thinking, oh, shit, Chad, look at me, badass, cool. And then I finally got tired of deleting them. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? I'm good looking, but I ain't that good looking.
Oh, man.
Hey, did you know you had 1,000 views the last 30 days?
I did. I have my number one video has over 700 views, and I think it's from the St. Louis showcase.
Hey, honey, we got an offer. You can bunk up with us at the Opossum Airbnb. Hey, we got Randy's in the house. Hey, Randy, man, how are you, buddy? Are you going to be home for dinner tomorrow night? His girl's going. Jack said getting on the hard pack on the beach, you have to go through soft sand. Saw some bikes go down when I was there. Jack's doing his best to freak you out now, Firecracker.
Yeah.
I'm not freaked out. I don't want to do anything to risk messing up their bike.
We'll ask Matt. We'll make sure he's okay with it. But Randy's in El Paso, so it doesn't look like he'll be home in time for dinner tomorrow night. Bader, there's a way you can set up like a subscribe link where when you send it to somebody and they click on it, they automatically subscribe to your channel. So we need one. We need one of those that we can set up as an auto reply on Facebook and Instagram. Me and Salty will get you that 100 in no time.
Yeah, no shit. And I know that Daytona, they talk about this loop. There's a loop where you can go north along the coastline, and I think it's kind of a swampy, kind of cool ride.
Our parking lot where we're going to be staying is practically in the beach. We're staying on oceanfront property a couple of nights. So Greg wants to know what engine oil you use on your Harleys. I have been using Spectro oil on mine. They make a different primary and gear oil than engine oil, but I've been using Spectro oils for all 3 holes with the specific one for each cavity. I do not use synthetic. I've been using traditional, and I change my oil every 5,000 miles. So that's what I've been doing on my twin cam. That's what I've been doing on her Milwaukee 8. What do you do, Steve? Whatever your mechanic does?
I've been using Schaefer's. Seems to have a good reputation.
You know, there's a whole engine oil is a whole big debate. The biggest thing I've done is, like just stay consistent using the same oil change after oil change after oil change.
Would you agree with this? I think more importantly than the oil you choose is making sure you're replacing it with new fresh oil every so many miles.
Yeah, I would, personally, if you're paying someone else to do the labor, then maybe synthetic makes sense because you're paying for the labor half as often, if you're running it more miles. But if you're doing it yourself, you're only saving your labor for the cost of it. And if you're having a problem, you may go another 5,000 miles before you realize it because you haven't pulled the drain plug and checked it. But that's kind of, I wouldn't say there's any right answer. Everybody just does different stuff depending on what they like to do. I change mine every 5,000 miles, sometimes 4,000. Like if I know we're going to go on a big trip, I'll change it early rather than late. The oil change is, $50 to $100 in materials, depending on what all you're doing. I might do the primary every 10,000 instead of every 5,000, but I do the transmission and the oil every 5,000 religiously.
Yeah, me too.
Randy says he can't subscribe to your channel. He's going to have his tech guy fix it. Means he's going to hand me his phone next time I see him and say, subscribe me to that guy's channel.
Well, you got to be over 21 for one thing.
Well, Randy can subscribe twice then, maybe 3 times. Oil, filters, fluids, whatever, cheap and easy. Do it early and often. Save yourself bigger problems. Salty runs Schaefer's in everything.
What I do.
Randy said I act 13. So do you really care how he acts or what he's legally bound by? No answer from Steve. Can you hear me?
Oh shit! Sorry.
No. Randy said I act 13. I said, so do you, which one are you going to legally bind him by? His age or is the way he acts?
Well, we'll let the age, we'll let him in on that because that's probably most of us.
Behind Rudy's Ferry says, I use synthetic and I still do 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you do? What do you use?
Is Jack's last name Mehoff?
No, it's Fleming.
Oh, okay.
But I know where you were going with that, and I'm not playing along.
I was watching Cycle Source last night or Sunday night. They're live, and Heather was on there, and she was fielding questions. And I was going to say, ask Chris if he knows Mike Hunt. And I thought I better not.
Jack uses Harley oil. Who could have guessed that? Hey, Lone Cowboy Adventures. Hey, y'all. Sorry, I just got done with dinner and caught you. Well, welcome. We've been at it just a little over an hour. Firecracker was playing hard to get tonight, but she finally gave in. She couldn't resist you guys. She had to get on here and say hi to everybody.
Yep.
She's probably a little bored. She's been home all day. She wasn't feeling good earlier. She's starting to feel better, so she's probably, wanting something to do.
No comment.
I've been watching TV all day late on the couch. I didn't get up and take a shower until 5 o'clock.
So she took a shower for you guys because I'm sure it wasn't for me.
No, I had to get up and take a shower. I
From,
felt like crap the last 3 days. Really felt like crap. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, I felt a little bad. But he was sick before, and it's his fault. And I'll kick. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I had somebody leave a comment about this, and Doug's got a comment on it. Hello, folks. Mike, do you think the EPA is going to put a hurting on building out the engine on our bikes? I think they're going to try. I think the EPA can only govern businesses, not individuals. I know somebody left a comment about, like, if you're going to put certain parts on your bike, you're going to have to sign a waiver. The mechanic's going to have you sign a waiver saying it's, for track only if you put race parts in it and stuff. I haven't seen that passed. My thing right here now, I'm going to say this, and I don't talk about it on the show a lot, but everybody in this audience should be a member of a motorcycle rights organization, including you, Bagger. Every one of you.
I agree.
Who do you think's going to fight that fight for you? Who? The Motorcycle Rights Foundation, your local MRO. Those are the people that are going to pay attention to what Congress is up to and the EPA is up to, who are going to get petitions, who are going to try and fight these things. And if you're not a member, then it's like bitching about politics, but yet you won't vote. So I encourage everybody on here, if you're in Missouri, join Freedom of Road Riders. If you're in another state, join ABATE. Sign up with the MRF. Get your voice heard, because that's the only way we're going to stop these cocksuckers from doing this kind of shit. That's plain and simple.
Hey, real fast, I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody was saying that Missouri might go back to a helmet law. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah. Don't even talk about that bullshit. There's no law. Every year they're going to try and propose a law, and talking about just gives them power. They're using a bunch of fake statistics. Oh yeah, there's been more accidents without helmets and more brain injuries. Yeah, because more people are riding without helmets. Doesn't mean there's been more accidents or fatalities. Just means there's been more of them without a helmet. They use the statistics they want to promote their thing. I've been dealing with this with MoDOT for years. I've been a member of an MRO for 10 years. I absolutely detest the things I see MoDOT say and do. They had some stuff up on the web at one time that I ripped to shreds with raw data from the, the National Highway and Traffic and Safety Administration's raw data. And so then they took it down, and they changed it and did something else, because they basically didn't want to put something up that could be proven to be wrong. So now they use even more vague stuff. But, they're going to try and put the helmet law back in, and we're going to fight it. And that's why you need to be a member of an MRO. And I don't care if you wear a helmet or don't wear a helmet, you should let people have that choice. It's just like the EPA thing, same kind of deal. If we don't fight it, they're going to keep coming after it. Evil Rick said that saw one of the race parts dealers send a message with the new catalog saying they could not be used on street bikes. Well, once it's out of warranty, who cares? Or in my case, F the warranty in week 2. I technically I didn't follow the break-in procedures on mine. I was never worried about the warranty. Yeah. It's going to get worse for sure. Look at the regulations on diesel trucks and gas engines. And, the fact is what we need is, legislators that stand up. These guys get appointed by some legislator or some politician, and we got to fight it. Yeah. Illinois bringing it up with the helmet law. So are they trying to put a helmet law in Illinois? Because Illinois is the only state that's never, ever had one, ever. They never accepted the federal mandate for a helmet law. They've never had one.
Good for them.
That's right. More people should do that. I wear a helmet 99% of the time. Never been a law in Arkansas. Don't want one anywhere. Yeah, I mean, let people choose.
Yep.
Definitely, Mike. The motorcycle rights guys are on it. Congress this year in the car world tried to make it so parts could only be sold and serviced by manufacturers and authorized dealers. You know, how many parts made in California but illegal to use in California? Well, you know, there's I forgot, was it an exhaust company or somebody who moved their business out of California because people were shipping their parts to them to have them tuned or have something done, and they had to move their business because people's products were getting confiscated by the postal system because it was illegal use in California, but they weren't being used. They were sending it back to the manufacturer who happened to be in California, and they were killing his business. So he moved his business out of California. And I don't remember what, racing part or what it was or something, but, it's just crap. And, I have no filter when it comes to this kind of shit. Sorry.
No, there's a lot of aftermarket motorcycle companies out there in California. And I'm thinking, why the fuck are you guys there? Get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Don't support that state.
And the cost to do business there is outrageous. Go to, hell, I mean, I'm in Kansas. I bet it's half the price. They could cut half their costs if they moved to Kansas.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it kills me. I'm not a huge fan of California to begin with.
No.
And the politics and the economics out there are not getting any better.
No.
So,
I
say, yeah. Yeah. Well, my show, my opinion.
There you go. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. But I do think that, we need leadership in the government that tells the EPA, hey, you're overstepping. This is not the initiative we want. Those guys get appointed by somebody. They get that job somehow. They've got a boss ultimately in Congress or, in the White House. And we got to put the right people in place to reel their asses back in.
Politicians are always going to vote on what they think will keep them in office. So if there's a group of people over here that want a certain thing and there's a group over here that wants another thing, they're going to pick whichever group's bigger and more powerful.
Drag Specialties reached out to the guy that's going to build my engine. Luckily, all my parts were bought last year. And that's the other thing. They're going to, who's to say you can't build this bike and run? You're building a bike to run it on the track, even if you haven't put it on the track yet. You got to build it before you can race it. You can't. They can say it's not for street use. You can sign a piece of paper that says you're not going to run on the street. I guarantee you, out here where I live, nobody cares. This isn't California. Nobody's going to ask you if that's factory exhaust. Nobody's going to ask you if that thing's race. And what they are likely to do is say, man, that thing sounds good. What parts did you use?
Yeah.
Maybe I live in the Wild West, but I like it out here like that.
Yeah.
I grew up on hot rods and racing, and everybody in high school had V8s and Camaros and Trans Ams and jacked up trucks and probably more money in their vehicles than they could afford, but that was okay.
Here outside of Kansas City, we like to ride to these little towns, and it's not uncommon for the police to come over and stop, but they're not there to harass you. They're there to check out your bike. And half of them have their own. They're like, hey, I've got this, I got that. Man, that's sweet. They start checking out your bike. And
that cop that handcuffed April in Eureka Springs rides. Are you paying attention, honey?
Yep, I heard you.
Is that going to happen again at Spring Fling? Or are you going to get cuffed?
I might.
By Mike the cop?
Let me show you my nightstick.
We're going to have to detain you overnight.
Yeah.
Have you guys gotten your room for spring fling yet?
No.
Son of a bitches.
I know. I got to call Jeff. I got to say, Jeff, what are we doing? I need to get that worked out. I know Busted wants to know what's going on with that too.
Might be able to get a room up above the bar now that Adam's
Chase said no nightstick if you're all sharing the Airbnb with them. All right. Well, firecrackers, anything else you wanted to talk about? We've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes.
Thank God. I don't.
Did you get all the answers you wanted to Daytona and what you should do?
I don't think anybody ever answered besides Steve, but that's fine. If anybody had suggestions.
We're going to have a tour guide. You know, we're going to have a tour guide, right?
Who?
John Price.
Oh.
Okay. Do you know who John Price is, Steve? He was on the world record poker run, and he's friends with the Harley Tech, John Maxwell.
Okay.
And he's going to be at Daytona. We talk some, and he's going to meet us there. And he's been there several times, knows where a lot of stuff is. He just bought a CVO Road Glide ST, and he's already got his 1,000-mile service done.
Wow.
So he's been tearing it up.
Well, look where he lives.
Georgia, down south.
Yeah, it might be a little warmer than it has been here.
Well, I'm sure he'd be happy for you to come down and ride with him.
Oh, I know another thing at Daytona. You're supposed to go to the Harley Davidson dealership. I think it was Bruce Rossmeyer's or something.
Used to be. Now it's Teddy Morris.
And I think they have a ton of vendors there. That's supposed to be one of the spots to hit.
Doug Cox wants to know if I'll be in the pits or the stands at the King of the Baggers. I will be wherever my tickets allow me to go. I did not buy tickets. For those that don't know, we're flying into Vegas. Harley Davidson offered to loan us motorcycles for the week to help it make this trip more accessible for us, because we weren't sure we could go and what we'd do. Didn't have enough vacation time really to take off and ride down there and then enjoy the whole weekend and be there for the events on the weekend and stuff. So
well, we'd have enough vacation, but then we couldn't do all of some of our
right.
Other
we'd had to sacrifice a lot of other things. And they said if we flew in, they could give us some wheels to ride for the week. So Firecracker is going to be riding a Lowrider ST. I don't know what I am riding yet, but I will be there and I'll be riding something. I asked them about King of the Baggers. They said they could hook us up, but I don't have any idea. And I would not expect pit passes, but if I got them, that'd be awesome. But I'm not. Beggars aren't choosers. If I'm getting tickets, I'll be happy to take whatever they can get me.
So let me ask you this, Mike. If they say, "Hey, Mike, here's an array of bikes," what would you choose if you got to choose? I think we all know the answer, but just for shits and giggles.
Being that they're not going to let me take it out on the track, probably the Street Glide or the Road Glide. I might ride the Lowrider ST too. I think I'm actually going to change bikes up a little bit that week and ride a couple of different bikes. So I'll have an opportunity to try a couple of them. But normally I'm a bagger guy for getting around. But in town like that, where we're not doing a lot of touring, a Softail, I could ride a Heritage, I could ride a Road King Special.
What if they had a breakout?
I'd ride a breakout. I've rode a breakout on just a demo ride at Jack's, but Doug wants to know, can I ride on the back with Firecracker?
Hold on, brother.
Chase says that you got to save me because I haven't booked Spring Fling yet either. Spring Fling is always a thing for us because usually Jeff puts a house out for us to stay in. So I've kind of held off on that, but I need to talk to him, find out if we're doing that or not doing that. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm happy to do it, but I'm happy to book a room. If we book a room for Spring Fling Firecracker, what would you want to do?
What do you mean? What would I want to do?
if we weren't getting a house, a creator house, if we had to find a house, what would you want to stay at Adams Campground with Steve? Would you want to get a BRBO with our friends? Would you want to just
Well, I would
stay at
see
the-
what I personally, I mean, my thing is, if we've got a group of friends going, why not get a house?
Okay.
Otherwise a motel, but not an outrageously expensive motel, but motel. I mean, I'm fine with the land or not. I mean, and it's not,
I thought maybe you wanted to stay up top at the cat house.
I mean, we could do that too, because then I could park my bike definitely and drink as much as I want, and not have to worry about my bike being parked somewhere where I'm not at.
Yeah. Chase says that I was just telling Ray that April and her need to get Sarah on the back of their bike sometime this year. You've never rode anybody on the back of your bike yet, have you?
Nope.
No. Sarah would be taking her cherry. Sorry, folks. I couldn't help that one.
Yeah. I had a thought. Have we heard anything about the Flat Rock? Are they doing that for spring fling?
I haven't heard. I need to call Jeff. I thought he might be in the side chat tonight, but he didn't show up. So I'm going to have to get a hold of him this week and figure out the plan. I know Adam's got a ride from Rogers to Eureka, $100 a person, giving away a bike.
Yep.
But that's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything about the other.
That's all I've heard too.
Chase said, "Ooh la la, ha ha."
She's pretty small. I think I'd be fine with her on the back, as long as she wasn't back there all dancing around on me and stuff.
Yeah, Sarah, you can't be getting your jiggly giggly on.
What about me on the back?
I don't know if I want to.
I don't know if you can control your jiggly.
Load.
I don't know if you can control your jiggly giggly. I don't know that I want you riding pole to hole with my wife anyway.
Mike told me to hold here. It's not my fault.
She's had years of experience saying, "Stop wriggling around back there."
She's had years of experience stopping wiggling around the back.
I was improvising.
I know you were.
But my wife likes to correct me. I think she feels like it's part of her duty now when you put the ring on. Now it's like, fix his ass every chance you get.
That's right. She's just trying to make you a better person. Just remember that. Just remember that when you want
There
to
ain't
grab her by
no-
the throat.
There is none of that.
Hey, Randy's going to ride bitch with you on Saturday to go get his bike.
Oh, is he?
Well, he was going to ride with me, but then he was talking about flashing people and showing them their titties. And I'm like, we're going to have to take truck.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be nice this weekend. And he's got to go get a bike. So I'm not driving the truck while you guys ride. That's all there fucking is to it.
But then I guess you're riding Randy on the back of your bike, bitch, Saturday.
Your bike's bigger. He can ride behind you.
No pole to hole. No. Just never be wrong. That's your policy. That's what Chase says. All right. So we'll run down some quick events. We got Daytona in a week and a half. We get back from that March 10th. And then we don't have anything until 420, right? Spring Fling.
I gotta get my sheet up.
And then we got International Female Ride Day, early May. Then we got Mid-America Freedom Rally, end of May. And then there is.
Well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the Lake Ozark Ride Rally, but
Yep.
we'll probably just go down for the day, right?
Yeah. Randy's definitely riding with you. He says he's going to put on his Bud Light miniskirt.
A timeout on the ride route. Is that spring event that they do every year?
Lake of the Ozarks, yeah.
Okay.
That should be between International Female Ride Day and
It's May 11th through the 12th.
yeah. So International Female Ride Day, Ozarks Rides Rally, and then Freedom Rally, and then
Hay River.
now, hold up, you're skipping one that you just was trying to talk me into going to.
What?
The one in Kansas.
Well, we hadn't confirmed that, so I did
But
not.
I don't know, but
That's
it's a
not on
weekend
my.
thing. We might do it. It's a maybe.
It's
You
at
want
the
to tell them about?
Speedway. I just got it from Malcolm. I got the flyer. It's Thunder on the Speedway in Lakeside Speedway, Kansas City.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in. Yeah, do you know where that's at? Kansas
Yeah,
City, Kansas is actually where it's at.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
Up
it's
Steve's neighborhood.
adult $25, 12 and under free.
Okay.
It's put on by like a something for Jesus MC on a mission in Kansas.
Yeah, I know these guys. I know them pretty well. In fact, they were at Cycle Showcase. Yeah, they've been putting it on in a little town out south of Kansas City, Pleasanton, and they've moved it up there. That's a pretty good time. And
Malcolm said it would be a good thing to go for the weekend. He would like for us to go for Smiths.
Lone Cowboy Adventures asked, what was that ride called again that you're talking about at Lakeside?
Thunder on the Speedway.
Thunder on the Speedway.
Now, something that I found interesting in years past for this is they are pretty well connected to the clubs around here. And so if you're one of these people that would like to learn more about MCs, they usually have a booth there, and you can go up and visit with them and learn more about their culture and what they believe in, and rather than what you hear on the news.
Right on. And then after that,
he's asking at Lakeside, but it's not at Lakeside.
It's at Lakeside Speedway, right?
Lakeside Speedway in what I say,
Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right up by the Missouri River. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then after that would be K River in June. And then after that, we have committed. We haven't rented a room yet. I got to talk to Matt when we're at Daytona about where we ought to stay. But homecoming, we can go see Jelly Roll.
Jelly.
Milwaukee.
Hey, I got to correct you.
Yeah.
This thing at the Speedway is not in June. It's July 20th and 21st.
Oh, it's in July. Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was in June.
So it would be the weekend before homecoming.
Okay.
I told you that the other day, but you don't pay attention.
I pay attention. I just forget. So yeah, that's in July. So that'd be the weekend before homecoming. And then we'd run up to Milwaukee for homecoming, the last weekend of July. We do not have anything on the books for August yet. We're not doing Sturgis this year. We did it last year. Can't afford to do Daytona and Sturgis in the same year. So then, of course, it'll be Shovel Fest, Bike Fest, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and no K River this year. I'm trying to decide, Steve, if I should move my
K River.
Yeah, but no, I mean, we're doing it in like early in the year. It's not at the end of after Bikes, Blues, Barbecue. Right. So the weekend is when I had my camp out is when he moved Adam's campground to that same weekend that I was going to do mine. Yeah. So Randy's asking for planning on a Hard Rock Candy trip, Candy Mountain, I'm sure. Big Rock Candy Mountain. And that's what I got to decide if I'm going to try and do it like in August or something when it's going to be hotter than balls, or wait till end of September and have a camp out. What do you think? Fall camp out, roast hot dogs and marshmallows, but there'll be no pool. But the fall leaves would be on here in Missouri.
Falls are great. But fall's cool. I mean, it's a cool time.
And if it gets cold out, that just means she's got to cuddle up on your pole.
Right on.
Stay warm.
Yep, it's all about that warmth.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't have an Ozarks camp out and a Big Rock Candy Mountain trip figured out yet. Because the weekend I was going to do it was the weekend Adam moved his event to. And it means not only do I have to choose between the two, but other people would have to choose between the two.
Mm. You know, that big ass poker run that I've been doing, I've been kind of helping my friend do. He's changed some things back, and I don't have. God, I've been kind of digging to try to find the dates. I think it's going to be in June this year, but he's moving it back to where he started it from, which is out in western Kansas, a city called Hayes, Kansas. For those that are interested, I'll get more information. You can go to my Facebook page called Bagger Baiter. We'll have some info there.
Hey, and you just got an offer for breakfast.
Nice.
But you got to confirm he subscribed to your channel first. No breakfast unless they've subscribed to the channel.
That's right.
You're still at 48. He says, I'd buy. You look hungry.
Yo, I'm starving.
Wasting away, bro.
Oh, God. I'm famined. I'm always willing to offer a sausage breakfast for anyone interested of the female persuasion. Hey, and if you go to Milwaukee, you got to make sure you go to Brady Street. Brady Street's kind of their party zone.
Well, I'm sure we'll do what we can. I mean, I don't know where the festival is. I'll trust someone up there in Milwaukee to tell us where to go or show us around. We'll be a kind of a turn and burn thing. Come in on Friday, do the concert Friday night, have Saturday to look around, and then concert Saturday night, and then boogie home on Sunday.
Yeah. We were going to leave on Thursday night, though, right? To head there?
Leave on Thursday night, get there on noon Friday, because it's an 8-hour deal, and we'll have to leave after work, basically.
Yeah, Brady's not far from where the concerts are, so you should be able to tie those two together.
I imagine. I'd some people there in Milwaukee I'd like to get a chance to visit with again, say hi to. Don't know who all will be there. There was, it was pretty cool getting to visit with Brad Richards and, some VPs and stuff at Vegas. So, it was a cool event. Love to meet those guys again, or maybe take a tour of the facility or something like that if we get time while we're up there. All right. Well, anything else? We've run down the list. What we got, what we're doing, what's going on. We even got you a breakfast date, Steve. This is the first date you've got out of a live stream.
Dude, you don't know what you're in for. You really don't.
Greg said he'll reach out to me about Milwaukee. And then Salty says, I can tell you where not to stay in Milwaukee. The beds are hard and not much of a blanket. That sounds like the county Crossbar Hotel.
Is there like campgrounds around there? Or?
It's in town. I doubt it. Not close.
Sounds like the maid services carry guns.
Well, don't think I'm not carrying my freaking gun.
He's talking about jail, honey. They're not going to let you bring your gun in there.
Oh.
He said, I can tell you where not to stay in Milwaukee. The beds are hard and they ain't not much of a blanket. Those of us that have been in the Crossbar Hotel did not take long to figure that out.
No.
I'm no longer a frequent guest. I gave up my membership card.
And you guys act like I'm the one that gets in trouble. I've never been to jail. Never been to jail.
Okay. We didn't say you get in trouble. We said you cause trouble. You just don't get prosecuted.
I do cause trouble.
Last time I was in jail was 3 years ago, and I've learned one thing. I'm too pretty to be in jail.
Well, when I was 16, I was in a makeshift jail at a fairgrounds because I got caught drinking, but I didn't go to a jail cell.
Well, I can say I spent the better part of a year behind one.
Yeah, you've got us beat.
Yeah.
There's no competition there.
Yeah. Not one of my finer moments, but that's life, and you grow from it.
If it helped you become who you are today, then there was a lesson learned.
Oh, there was lots of lessons learned, good and bad.
Yeah, shit.
It's a school. Like when they talk about being a school of hard knocks, that's no doubt. It's a school, and you learn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lone Cowboy Adventures. Do you know how to reach Bagger Bader on his Facebook page? Just look for Bagger Bader on Facebook, right? He message you on there.
Yep.
He can message you on there. If you have a problem reaching him, let me know. I'll give out his home address, his phone number, bank account, whatever you need. He'll be in touch if you get those things. And then, anybody that's got anything for Daytona or Milwaukee, hit us up. I may reach out to Chase after this and figure out, IFR and Spring Fling. I got to call Jeff and get that figured out. I got to get on this shit since I'm apparently the tour guide this year and I got to book all the stays.
You are.
I'll be at Arizona Bike Week. If anybody sees me, come up, say hi.
And do you know where the strip clubs are at Arizona Bike Week?
I know where one is.
Okay. Well, if anybody's got the lowdown, just send Steve directions.
One of the best places to go is Dirty Dogs because it's kind of like it's got that Coyote Ugly thing going on. The girls get up in the rafters and swing around with
Steve.
Shit like that.
If you would have come to Vegas and hung out with me, then you could have went and hit the strip clubs while Mike was doing all this stuff. I mean, I couldn't get my dad and mom to go to the strip club with me.
Last time I went to a strip club, my buddy's wife beat me out on everything.
Did she?
She did.
I would be encouraging them for you.
Yeah, she kept cock blocking me, and she was like tipping half the amount and getting twice the show, and I'm like, this sucks.
Well, yeah, they always go for the women.
Jay said, "Wait, what? We're doing strip club shows now?"
That's Biker 101, baby. That's like when you buy a Harley, they're like, "Do you like strip clubs?"
Hold it.
Okay, then we'll sell you the bike.
He didn't get that speech. He bought a BMW.
Well, we'll still let him in.
He rides a BMW R18. We'll let him in, but he's got to pay the cover. Sorry, Chase, I couldn't help it. He posted some meme on one of my Facebook groups about the BMWs and Harleys, and like people got all bent out of shape and butthurt over it and stuff. We're all just riding motorcycles. Come on, let's have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Chase says I can give you advice on hotels and strip clubs in Northwest Arkansas for sure. Firecracker, I'm not even sure she knew there were strip clubs in Northwest Arkansas, but she does now.
Yeah.
Well, it's not hard to get on the internet and look them up.
Oh, he was joking. Shit.
Oh.
Hey, you get to the hotels in Eureka Springs in the evenings, and you can create your own strip club.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not sure if he was joking about the strip clubs or about the deal I was telling you about where he made a meme post on, riding in the Ozarks and people got butthurt. I think he was joking about that. I think he knows where the strip clubs are. I think that's for real.
God, man, I never even thought about it, but I can't picture one single strip club up in there that I've ever seen. Sounds like a good thing for the side chat.
Greg said, "Damn, now I'm late because you mentioned strip clubs." Chase said, "All the Twin Peak ladies work at the Peppermint Hippo, FYI." The R18. Meme. He was joking about the R18 meme. He probably went to hit shift and hit caps lock, and he got his R lowercase instead of uppercase. And then he did the 1 and the 8 to get an exclamation point and a star. See?
R18.
Zan threw a YouTube link out for Chasing Adventures YouTube channel as well. Zan, by the way, everybody, if you didn't know, he's moderator. So if you misbehave, he gets to put you in timeout now. Since he shows up for all the live streams, and I needed a moderator here a while back, he volunteered. So thanks for being a moderator.
Yep. Good guy.
The fact we've had no Honda trolls in here tonight all night is because they knew that he wasn't going to put up with that talk.
That's right. He didn't take shit from nobody.
He said, "Don't do that. I have like 3 videos."
Oh man.
All right, guys, it's 8:45. We're going to get off here. I need to be editing a couple of videos. I need to get 3. Oh, look who shows up freaking now. Now. Hour and 45 minutes of the show, and now they show up.
Well,
we were just getting ready to get off here.
I got to do my video on Cycle Showcase, but
yeah,
I'm not working on that tonight. I'm going to lay on the couch a little longer, then go to bed and try to make it all day at work tomorrow.
Honda's rule.
Nothing wrong with Honda. Nothing wrong with Honda.
No, I just like giving everybody a hard time. I don't care what you ride. I care how you ride.
Yes.
I mean, don't be dangerous and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
About time Witchcraft Cycle Works shows up. I was trying to entertain everyone alone. Good night from Gary. Hey, everyone. But guess a bit too late as always. Take care and keep riding safe. We'll see you all around sometime. Yeah, riding on threes. We were just about to wrap it up, and you and Witchcraft Cycle Works showed up in here late. It's like everybody got their second wind, or I don't know what you guys were all just got kicked out of the strip club together, or what? Couldn't find nothing else to do.
Maybe subconsciously they heard us say something about strip clubs. They thought, shit, I gotta watch Riding in the Ozarks live. They're probably talking about strip clubs.
Maybe we should do a segment on that. Maybe we should put that on the thumbnail. Tonight's discussion, the best strip clubs in Daytona.
I think we should just start going to strip clubs, and then so we can do our research.
And doing a review on them?
And then, I mean, we're really doing our viewers a disjustice because we're not doing that.
Chase says Tuesday night strip club is a sad place to be.
You're probably not getting that A list of girls on a Tuesday night. You might be getting the gals with the teeth missing and the bruises.
Good night, Greg. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, we're gonna get off here. Witchcraft. We'll catch you guys next time. We got to figure out, I got to go make reservations or something, figure out where we're staying. I guess first thing is IFR, because I got to talk to Jeff about Spring Fling, and we'll go from there. Maybe I'll give him a call. It's not too late. He'll still be up.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Hope you had a good time. We'll see you all in the next one. It will not be in 2 weeks and probably won't be the Tuesday after we get back from Daytona, but maybe. We'll see. Just check it out and see, and we'll be posting a link up if we do. But I don't know with getting in on Sunday if we'll be ready to do a live on Tuesday or not. We might be up to it. We'll see how jet lag feels.
Yep.
We don't even know how we're getting to the airport and back yet. We're kind of bad about planning this shit out. We'll just wing it.
I haven't figured out how I'm packing all my stuff yet.
Oh, you're not?
Because I got to take a helmet.
Well, I know. You can just wear that on the plane.
No.
You could ship it to your hotel.
You got to have it to get to the hotel.
Might need it for the airplane ride.
That's what I told her. She could just wear it in the airplane. She get on the airplane, put the helmet down, and nobody will talk to her. Everybody leave her the fuck alone.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see y'all later. Good night.
Night.
Peace.